It's May 8th. Happy Mother's Day, and it's Beckett's Ideas in Tech. Today we're going to take a look at Google Forms, but I'll go into it a little bit deeper, so we're going to call this one Google Forms Part 2. So, first thing we need to do is need to find a Google Forms. So right here, let's take a look at one that I used with staff at our school. So this was taking a look at what staff members would be interested in participating in a yoga class after school. So we have a regular Google form. As you can see, there's just regular stuff on the Google form that was created. We can see that 13 people responded. So if you want to see how to use a Google form and how to create one, you can go back in through the YouTube channel, and there is a video for how to create a Google form. But today we're going to take a look at what do you do with the Google form once you've made one. So we can see here there's 13 responses. All right, so if we click on the responses, we can see right here a summary of the responses. One of the reasons why I love Google Forms is it creates these graphs and this content here for you already. So we can see here that we are still accepting responses. If I wanted to close that off and not accept any more responses, all I need to do is just click this little thing here, and now we wouldn't be accepting any more responses. So we can see that 13 people responded, and really quickly, because it creates a graph for me, we can see that 93% of people, or 12, said yes to participating in yoga after school. Now, I asked in this survey how often would they like to do yoga and for how long. And very quickly, I can look at this without having to go through sheets on a survey and sheets on a survey and tabulating my own results. I can quickly see that 73% of people were interested in doing it once a week, and 66.7% of people thought 30 minutes would be a good duration. I can see that very quickly because Google Forms has created this graph for me. All right, so now let's say we want to actually utilize that data for something. If we click right here, Create Spreadsheet, it's going to ask right here, do you want to put this information from the Google form into a new spreadsheet or into an existing one? So sometimes it is a good thing to have several different forms going into one spreadsheet because all the data is kind of related. But right now I'm going to create a new spreadsheet. Now it automatically names it after the form, Yoga After School, and it will list responses afterwards. Once I click Create, it now creates a Google spreadsheet that shows all of this different information. All right, so now I can do stuff with this. Now there's not a lot of data here, so there's not a whole lot going on, but it is listed right now, automatically time-stamped. As you can see, there isn't a question on here about when you did the form, but the time will be automatically time-stamped when someone actually completed the form. And then all of your questions are across the top, and all of your information, all of your answers for each of those questions are listed below. So easily here I could, let's say, sort this particular column and see how many people wanted to do it once a month, once a week, and I can organize all that. I can sort by duration and see the people who wanted to do it for 45 minutes also wanted to do it once a week. The people who wanted to do it for 30 minutes also wanted to do it once a week. So real quickly, this is a great way for me to take a look and say, hey, you know what? Why don't we do this once a week for 30 minutes? Because more than half of the people who filled out the survey, that's what they wanted to do. So now I'm just going to make this window here. I'm going to move this window down a little bit so you can see. And down underneath my face here, you can see that it says count of 12. That's how many entries I have here altogether, right? So if I highlight it, I can see I can see a lot of really basic information here. I'm going to move my face up here to the top so you can see. So Google Sheets does some really cool stuff here too. We click on here, we can see right away that, here, let's highlight the time. So there's 12 different entries for time. I click on the Explore, and it automatically creates some graphs here for me based on that information. And look, it's actually pretty cool too. If you look on the pie chart here, it's underlining in red all of the things over here that are included in that. So that's kind of neat too. We can also take a look at the yes versus no's, and it's automatically making graphs for that. If I take a look at the times here, we see it as data, and I can click here. There's 13 of them all together. The latest time someone entered in this survey is listed here, the earliest, the average, the sum. So if these were important numbers like let's say some data that was like this and I sorted here, we can see that it's creating graphs for me, but it's also going to give us information like what was the average number, what was the maximum number, how many numbers were there all together. So it's a real fast and easy way to utilize the data. So you have entering in the data in the form, you have a quick look at the responses here. I mean, you can look at the individual surveys if you want to see how they were filled out, and you can go through each one that way. And then you can also, by clicking on looking at the spreadsheet, you have the spreadsheet here with all the information. Now, this spreadsheet is automatically created and put into the same folder that your Google form is in. So this is Google Forms Part 2, and this has been Beckett's Ideas in Tech for May 8th, 2016.